Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. Well, more stuff continues to come out of the DCEU. And let's start with the new things, the new movies that are being made. Let's start off with The Flash. So apparently it's being reported that the Flash movie begins filming in February of 2019. A new report has revealed that Ezra Miller's first standalone outing as the Flash could begin filming as early as next February. According to a recent Production Weekly listing, The Flash begins filming next February in Atlanta. Miller made his debut as The Flash in last year's Justice League, and his movie has reportedly been a top priority for Warner Brothers and DC ever since. Spider-Man Homecoming writers John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein are directing Warner Brothers and DC's Flash movie, working from a script by Joe B. Harold, who recently turned in a page 1 rewrite. The project was initially expected to adapt the Flashpoint story arc by Jeff Johns, but it's unclear if that's still the case. Besides Miller, The Flash is also set to star Kiersey Clemons as Iris West. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Billy Crudup is expected to reprise his role as Barry Allen's father, Henry. Warner Brothers has quite a few DC film projects on the horizon. Aquaman is up first, hitting theaters on December 21st, 2018, followed by Shazam on April 5th, 2019. There's also the Wonder Woman sequel, which is slated for November 1st, 2019 release. The Flash does not yet have an official release date. Make sure to keep an eye on, and this is coming from Heroic Hollywood, as more details on this project come out. So, basically, the source for apparently they're going to start filming next February in Atlanta. It came from Production Weekly, which is interesting because that's around the same time they're going to film Birds of Prey. And also what we've reported on the other day, that Slash Film had put in their article that they believe that Batman will start filming next year as well. So next year is going to be interesting. We're going to have 3 movies. I think we're going to have the Joker movie, right? I think next year we'll also have the Joker movie along with Shazam and Wonder Woman, the sequel, the 1984. And then we're going to have those movies, but during next year we're going to have these 3 movies in production. We're going to have The Flash, possibly Batman, and Birds of Prey. And then by 2020 we're going to watch these movies, and hopefully we're going to find out what's going to be in production in 2020 for 2021 release. So, if you're waiting for that Superman sequel, it looks like it's a little bit farther down the line than we've liked. But I believe it should be on the next slate, possibly with Green Lantern Corps as well. If all cylinders are firing, and all the movies are being are working, audience loves it, fans love it, and the money is good, the box office is great, then this line of films will continue to go on and go forth. And now we already know that it's possibly Flashpoint is not even going to be a part of this movie. There is going to be a Back to the Future type storyline, and so I guess it's a more adventure type humorous. I really vaguely want to say humorous because I'm not sure, but according these are the directors of Game Night, but Game Night was pretty good. I enjoyed Game Night. The comedy flowed pretty well. There were some moments where it was kind of like they threw that in, but I love some of their directing styles, especially the whole one-shot take of the main characters grabbing that egg through that house. That was an incredible feat for these directors, and I think they might be doing some really crazy, incredible stuff with The Flash, and so I'm waiting to see what that actually transpires. Of course, it's very hard to not have Thomas Wayne be Batman and everything like that, but it's okay. I think we should still be pretty excited for the Flash movie coming out, and then we'll definitely get more details when we get further down the line. The other movie that I said they were actively going to start shooting next year as well, around the same time, also in Atlanta. They must be giving a lot of great tax credits in that place, but also coming out is Birds of Prey. Now, there is a rumor going around that there is a short list of actresses going to be in Birds of Prey, to be the main characters. The rumor is Alexandra Daddario, Jodie Comer, and Vanessa Kirby on the shortlist for DC's Birds of Prey. Now, you may want to have your pinch of salt at the ready here, given that the report actually contains the phrase, "We don't know if any of the above are actually up for these respective roles," but comic book movies claiming to have the inside scoop on casting for the upcoming DC Girl Gang movie, Birds of Prey. According to the site, Warner Brothers is looking to cast actresses in the same age range as Margot Robbie, who reprises her Suicide Squad role as Harley Quinn. And the studios is said to be very high on Alexandra Daddario for the role of Helena Baranelli, the Huntress. And Jodie Comer, and Vanessa Kirby from Mission Impossible Fallout. If you've watched that, she was the girl that they were trying to, I forgot already, but she had her brother was trying to get them to kill a bunch of cops to steal, to break that guy out. Well, anyway, but they're in the role for Black Canary. I will also, not in this report, but they were also talking about Blake Lively as well. So it's difficult to take the report seriously given the disclaimer, but with Margot Robbie revealing to us last month that filming on the R-rated Birds of Prey is scheduled to begin in January, so it's just a month before reported that Flash is going to start filming, we shouldn't have too much longer to wait before we get some official casting news on the project. And in the meantime, let us know what you make of these rumored choices in the comments below, and that's coming from flickeringmyth.com. So great. I think those are great picks for those roles. Of course, it's just Huntress and Black Canary. We don't know about the other roles. There's a lot more, several more people on that that we want to see people picked for, and it'll be interesting what those final picks will be. I'd like to say shortlist because those are like famous actresses that we kind of know. They're in that age range. They can do with it. But remember now, when Batman for Batman v Superman, there were reports like Ryan Gosling and I don't know who, a lot of other people was in the running for Batman, and out of nowhere it was Ben Affleck. So like they said, put a really pinch of grain of salt, but these are great picks. If anything, I mean, these are what you'd say, yeah, sure, I could totally see Alexandra Daddario being the Huntress, although I think she'd be a better Zatanna. I don't know, but all these other people's great. I could totally see them being those parts and stuff like that. Throw in your own fan casting, if you will, that what you would see as these actors and actresses, and whoever the villain would be, who knows? But that's interesting in itself. Now, speaking of Birds of Prey, there is another clip. There's, I guess, these Suicide Squad clips keep coming out, leaked clips. I don't know where they're from. They're probably being found, like how we're finding out Justice League VFX reels. I'll talk about it later. But yeah, there's a little bit more to Suicide Squad, and people are more campaigning for the Ayer cut, even more so. All these little snippets here and there. It'll be interesting to see if we ever get some type of Ayer cut, because the difficult part is that because David Ayer had actually came out on Twitter and said that the movie that you saw in theaters is his cut. So it'll be weirder to backtrack that now, not unlike Snyder, who has not said anything about the movie. He pretty much implied that the movie that came out of theaters, he had no idea. He hasn't watched it. So he doesn't know about the Russian family and things like that. So, but it's interesting to see more of the Ayer cut, if you will, of Suicide Squad being released little by little as people are finding it, and I'm just happy to see more stuff from that cast. But in any case, Birds of Prey is coming out, so that's be pretty much the sequel to Suicide Squad, until we actually get a actual Suicide Squad 2, and who knows if David Ayer with Paul Dini is actually working on a Gotham City Sirens movie. Who knows, right? Who knows? The other thing about leaked clips. There's another leaked, deleted scene of what appears to be Star Labs, the doctors, and Victor's father. They're looking at something. There's a flash. It's all red, and they're walking backwards, and like something's going on there in that VFX reel. Of course, that VFX reel is followed up by Superman opening up his eyes. So that could be the scene where it's after Superman's resurrection, or in any case, a part where they're reacting to Superman's resurrection. And I think that is really missing from the Justice League. When you really watch, you really think about it, you don't get too much of the citizens' reaction to his return. And there's even rumors that he tried to laser-eyed a bunch of people, but of course we never got that. They're trying to really quicken that hope and optimism that they totally threw out a lot of things, possibly. And one of those is having the scientists of Star Lab, who the Kryptonian ship was right there, to react to something like that. If that's what they're reacting to, they could also be reacting to maybe something happened. And we know Star Lab scenes. There are pictures of them seemingly the Justice League in Star Labs ready to fight something. So there could have been more to Star Labs, a possible fight. Maybe they're reacting to the fight, reacting to Steppenwolf, reacting to maybe even the end, because it seemed like the world was going to come to an end, but we didn't get to see the world's reaction to that end. And maybe that's what happened towards the end, and they took that out as well. Who knows? Who knows what happened there? But there's a lot more things, and it just keeps leaking out. I can't believe the amount of stuff that people are releasing or people are finding from these little VFX reels. It makes you really wonder how it was possible. How is this movie even done? So there, Jason LeBoy, the photographer, has been on Twitter, and at one point he did say that he didn't put any proof, but he says it is 100% finished. So whoever his sources are, who knows? Take it with a grain of salt. He has said it's 100% finished. And Sam Parker Meadow really put something out here today that really gets us thinking, right? And I want to share that with you for a second. First, he posts that little tweet from Jay Oliva. Jay Oliva is a storyboard artist for Justice League. He also is a storyboard artist for many movies, including like Thor Ragnarok and so on, such and so forth. But he tweeted this. He's tweeted that films are done a lot differently nowadays because of digital media. CG shots are started prior to starting principled photography and editing. Scoring happens almost simultaneously during shooting. Gone are the days when you had to develop film prior to edit. So with what he's saying is that when principal photography is going on, at the same time Zack Snyder's shooting, there's a team in the background actually editing, putting VFX shots of those scenes that he shot along concurrently at the same time as he's shooting, right? And so if we're going to put that into effect, then from the newest Victor Stone, newest Cyborg scene where he wins in the Super Bowl, I'm sorry, did I say Super Bowl? In the football game, and you see that the entire VFX has already been done for that sequence, including his mom, including the crowd and cheer. So we're looking at this, okay, so that's pretty much finished. But look at the last shot. Sam Parker Meadow had pulled this up. Look at the last shot of wrapping production on Justice League. They are in the Gotham City University. They're on the stadium, indicating that the last shoot they've done for production is possibly during the Gotham City University football game. Is that the indication? This is the last. This is where everybody says, "Yay, we're done." Now I know there was actually a little bit more, because I remember seeing Aquaman or something. But if this is true, that the last principal photography had ended with the Gotham City University scene, where they are all on the stadium, they're all on the bleachers, and they've won the game and everything. That's the last shot. Then does that mean, because the VFX of that shot was also done, that the movie is more towards the 100% finish, like how Jason LeBoy had suggested, than before, than what we know. If Jay Oliva is telling us, not just saying that films are done a lot differently nowadays because of our digital media, but he's actually telling us that they were doing VFX at the same time as after every shoot. And Justice League production stopped at the football game, but we now know that the football game VFX were done. So if the last production shoot before reshoots or any of that was done, and the VFX of that last shoot was done, then wouldn't that just mean the VFX for most of the movie, probably almost towards 100% of the movie, has been done? This does not include any sound or mixing or audio or computer compositing, possibly, color editing or anything like that, but just the fact that they've done VFX. That means, if this is true and we are to put our tinfoil hats on, that VFX has been pretty much complete after every principal photography shoot. That means the Snyder Cut is more complete in terms of that we won't actually see storyboards. We won't actually see just green screens or props. We're actually get to see a full-blown, ready shot, VFX ready movie, possibly minus ADR dubbing, possibly minus color correction, possibly minus some finishing touches. But for the most part, you can watch from beginning to end with full clarity of what's going on. That's exciting. Don't you think that's exciting? And if that is true, then my God, release the mother effing Snyder Cut right now. All right, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.